Let's go to Michael Smith with more announcements.
Now let's go to Mike with our sports update.
Thanks, Jessica.
And as we turn to sports, that was some game on Friday, right, Mike?
It sure was.
And now to Mike with sports.
And now to Mike with sports.
Now let's go to Mike with sports. Mike.
Thanks, Kristen Kaylee.
And now to Mike with sports. Mike, what's happening in the sports arena?
I'm glad you asked, Crazy Kristen.
Mike, anything happening in the sports today?
How'd you know?
Mike, let's talk about sports.
Okay.
Mike, let's talk about sports.
All right.
Mike, tell us about sports.
Radio, Jesse.
Now to Mike with sports. Now to Mike with the sports.
Thanks, Kristen.
Mike.
Thanks, Kristen.
Now to Mike with sports.
Thanks, Kristen.
And now to Mike with the sports.
Thanks, Kristen.
And now to Mike with sports.
Thanks, Kristen.
Now to the best news of the day. Mike with sports.
Thanks, Kristen.
Now to Mike with sports.
It's actually a really nice organization.
Now to Mike with the sports.
Thanks, Kristen.
Now to Mike with sports.
Thanks, Kristen. And you know what they say about beans? They make you better at sports.
And now to Mike with sports. Now to Mike with sports.
Thanks, Kristen.
And now to Mike with sports.
Thanks, Kristen.
Now to Jessica with the sports.
Mike.
We are pleased to announce that the...
Now back to Mike with sports.
Thanks, Kristen, again.
Now to Mike with sports.
Thanks, Kristen.
Now to Mike with sports.
Thanks, Kristen.
It's now to Mike with sports.
Thanks, Stephanie.
Now to Mike with sports.
Thanks, Kristen.
Now to Mike with sports.
Stephanie.
Now to Mike with sports.
Thanks, Kristen.
And now to Mike with sports.
Thanks.
And now to Mike with sports.
Thank you, Kristen. And now to Mike with sports. Thanks, Christina E.
And now to Mike with sports.
Thanks, Stephanie.
Now let's go to Mike with sports.
Now to Mike with sports.
Thanks, Christina.
Now back to the crew.
Thank you, Dr. Gordon. Now to Mike with sports. Here's
And now to Mike with sports.
Christina.
What's happening with sports, Mike?
I will tell you.
Now to Mike with sports.
Thanks, James.
And now to Mike with sports.
Thanks, Kristen.
Mike, what games do we have today?
Well, Stephanie.
What's happening in sports, Mike?
Well, Kristen.
What's new with sports, Mike?
Well, there's a few games going on today.
And now to Mike with sports. What's new with the sports, Mike?
Well, we have a plethora, I guess, of games today.
And here's Mike with the sports update.
Thanks, Jared.
And now to Mike with sports.
Jessica.
And now to Mike with sports.
Thanks, Allison. Now we're going to turn to sports.
And now to Mike with sports.
Thanks, Kristen.
And now to Mike with the sports.
Thank you, Steph.
And now to Mike with the sport.
Well, I'm not prepared to rhyme, so forgive me this time. Haha.
And now to Mike with sports.
Thank you, Callie.
Now to Mike with sports.
A little blurry over there, Kristen. Thank you.
Now to Mike with sports.
Thank you, Kristen.
And now to Mike with sports.
Thanks, Kristen.
And now to Mike with sports.
Thanks, Allison.
And now to Mike with sports.
Thank you, Callie.
Mike, when is our last day to broadcast our news?
Sadly, Kristen, our last day for TV announcements is tomorrow.
And now for the final time to Mike with sports.
Thanks, Kristen.